America is not Canada. And Canada never, ever will be part of America in any way, shape, or form.
In a definitive and unyielding statement, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has asserted his nation's sovereignty, declaring that any future trade and security negotiations with the United States must be conducted on our terms. Welcome viewers to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe, like my video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next update.
But Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves. So the Americans, they should make no mistake, in trade as in hockey, Canada will win.
Exclusively to the BBC as the polls closed on a historic snap election that saw his Liberal Party secure a surprise victory, Carney made it unequivocally clear that a visit to Washington would only occur when a serious discussion to be had was on the table, one that fundamentally respected Canada's independence and sovereign status. This firm and assertive stance is a direct and forceful rebuttal to the increasingly aggressive rhetoric and protectionist policies emanating from the Trump administration. The diplomatic frostiness has been significantly exacerbated by U.S. President Donald Trump's repeated public musings about absorbing Canada as the 51st state of the United States. This deeply provocative notion, which was reiterated by White House Deputy Spokesperson Anna Kelly on Tuesday, was met with an immediate and absolute dismissal from Prime Minister Carney. He called such a scenario never, ever going to happen, and extended his disbelief to any similar proposals concerning other nations, whether it be Panama, Greenland, or elsewhere. Carney's resolute tone signals a new, more confrontational era in U.S.-Canada relations, one that will not tolerate what he perceives as a profound lack of respect for his country's distinct national identity and political autonomy. The previous Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, was famously referred to as governor by Trump, a deliberate slight that underscored the U.S. president's disregard for Canada's independent nationhood, and which Carney seems determined to prevent from recurring. Despite the palpable tensions, a crucial line of communication remains open between the two leaders. Following their respective election victories, Carney and Trump have spoken and, according to a carefully worded statement from the Canadian Prime Minister's office, have agreed to a meeting in the near future. The statement meticulously highlighted that the leaders acknowledge the importance of working together as independent, sovereign nations for their mutual betterment. This phrase, a cornerstone of Canada's new diplomatic approach under Carney, serves as a powerful reminder of its sovereign status and a deliberate rebuke to any suggestions of subservience or a diminished role in the bilateral relationship. It sets the stage for a partnership that, while economically necessary, will be defined by a newfound Canadian assertiveness, the intertwined economies under duress, and the rationale for resistance. The current diplomatic friction is particularly concerning given the extensive and deeply integrated economic relationship that has defined U.S.-Canada relations for decades. The two countries, along with Mexico, form a highly interconnected economic bloc under the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA. The sheer scale of this integration is immense, with a daily flow of billions of dollars worth of manufactured goods, including crucial components like car parts, crossing the shared border. A staggering 75% of Canada's total exports are sent south to the U.S., which is also Canada's single largest foreign supplier of crude oil. Despite this critical reliance on Canadian energy resources, America is projected to have a significant $45 billion trade deficit with Canada in 2024, a figure largely driven by its substantial energy demands. This symbiotic relationship, built over decades of collaboration and free trade, is now facing unprecedented disruption due to Trump's protectionist policies. The U.S. trade policies, initiated by the Trump administration, have directly targeted Canadian goods, leading to a global trade war. These measures include a partial imposition of a 25% blanket tariff on various Canadian products and a 25% import tax on all aluminum and steel, although items covered by the USMCA trade agreement are exempted. In a display of its own economic resolve and a measured retaliation, Canada has imposed tariffs worth approximately 60 billion Canadian dollars, $42 billion, on a wide range of U.S. goods. These actions threaten to unravel decades of economic cooperation and supply chain integration, jeopardizing thousands of jobs and disrupting industries on both sides of the border. Prime Minister Carney, a former governor of both the Bank of Canada, 2008 to 2013, and the Bank of England, 2013 to 2020, is leaning heavily on his extensive background in global finance to navigate this perilous situation. Having successfully steered these central banks through the tumultuous waters of the 2008 global financial crisis and the post-Brexit economic landscape, he brings a wealth of experience in managing high-stakes economic conflicts and market volatility. He believes his expertise will be crucial in ensuring that any deal with the U.S. is on our terms, not on their terms, and that Canada will not be a passive participant in the negotiations. He views the situation not as a zero-sum game, but as a win-win possibility for Canada, provided it can secure a favorable and respectful deal with the U.S. while simultaneously strengthening its trade relationships with the European Union and the U.K. Carney forcefully underscored Canada's economic importance to the U.S., reminding the BBC and the international community that Canada serves as the biggest client for more than 40 states and provides vital energy and fertilizer to U.S. farmers. We deserve respect. We expect respect, and I'm sure we'll get it in due course again. And then we can have these discussions, he stated, leaving no doubt about his country's leverage and its refusal to be seen as a subordinate partner. He highlighted how the seamless flow of goods, like car parts, under existing agreements has been a success story for both nations, and that the introduction of tariffs, which are essentially taxes on imports, threatens to dismantle this mutually beneficial collaboration, diversification, and diplomatic alignment amidst global uncertainty. The global trade conflict initiated by the U.S. has prompted its allies, including Canada and European nations, to reevaluate their trade dependencies and actively seek new trade arrangements and alliances. This has led to renewed discussions about trade diversification as a strategic priority. Carney, who had previously endorsed UK Chancellor Rachel Reeves during the British general election, sees significant potential for deeper collaboration between Canada and the UK. While he noted that about 95% of trade between the two countries is already effectively tariff-free, he suggested that a stalled free trade agreement could be the centerpiece of a broader strategy of trade diversification. He also hinted at expanding other areas of integration, such as defense and security partnerships, with other like-minded countries. The UK's Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, has already extended his congratulations to Carney, expressing a desire to continue to work closely on defense, security, trade, and investment. This signals a strong and immediate alignment between the two nations and a mutual willingness to explore new avenues of cooperation in response to the changing global landscape. This emerging partnership with a key Commonwealth ally serves as a powerful symbol of Canada's pivot away from a sole reliance on its relationship with the U.S. The upcoming G7 summit, which Canada will host in June, is poised to be a pivotal event in international relations. Prime Minister Carney stated that the summit would be very important in determining the future direction of the global trade war. He added that the meeting would put to the test whether the G7, a group of the world's 7 most advanced economies that includes the U.S., remains a cohesive and like-minded alliance. The timing of the summit is particularly significant, as it will take place just before the expiration of a 90-day pause on some of Trump's higher tariffs. This strategic timing ensures that the issues of trade, protectionism, and international cooperation will be at the very top of the agenda, setting the stage for a dramatic and potentially transformative period in international relations. The outcome of these discussions will not only shape the future of U.S.-Canada relations, but also the broader global economic order and the role that traditional alliances will play within it.